I know that you've said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Iyanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date him.
So out of the 50,000 plus comments posted on social, I only saw a handful that even considered the possibility of a bus owner being a more aspirational position and recognizing that I am actually speaking and pouring into the ascension of black men when I said what I said. But see, no, some of y'all were too busy naming and shaming me personally and black women in general as undesirable, gold diggers, and much worse. Now, I suspect that some of y'all are the same men that were bringing home C's and D's on your report cards, only to then be coddled by parents that said, well, that's okay, as long as you're doing your best. Well, listen, I love and believe in the excellence of black men. So no, my dear, C's and D's or any other form of mediocrity is not okay. No, I will not create a soft place for you or anybody that I love to fall comfortably into the bigotry of low expectations. So I'm going to say one more time, there's absolutely nothing wrong with driving a bus. My mother Gloria drove one for years. But could it be that black America has been sold a narrative of average, regular, and typical being good enough for us? Well, see, that's called white supremacy. And in this case, it takes the form of conditioning black Americans to happily accept being a permanent American underclass. But see, because I know the truth about black folk in America, no, average is not and will never be good enough for me. And the gag is, I don't think it's good enough for you either.
So guys, you heard what the lady had to say. All right, I know some of you guys have watched this video. It's been going viral. Some of you guys have not, but you know, I wanted you guys to watch the whole entirety of the video and then I can give my reactions. I know some of you guys are going to be pissed. Some of you guys, especially the ladies, you're going to agree. You're going to be like, you know what? She deserves to get what she wants and to not want an average bus driver, you know, because Eboni, for those of you who don't know, is apparently a successful, I think, lawyer and all other different accolades she has, right? But in this clip, she's being, in the first clip at least, she was being, you know, criticized by Iyanla about why she doesn't even respect the bus driver or see him fit to date. All right, and this is the issue that's going on in the black community, right? In the black community right now, it's like a hardworking man, if he's not doing like a high-end job, like he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, or you know, those high earning, you know, high class jobs, he's not considered as a man who can provide, or he's not considered as a man who's good enough, right? And obviously everyone has their own preferences, you know, but here's the issue, right? I don't mind the lady, you know, wanting and desiring whatever kind of man she wants. She can desire a billionaire man all she wants, all right, for all I care. But here's the thing, in if you guys watch the clip very well, she did admit that she has dated different kinds of men. So how have you dated different kinds of men, but somehow, you didn't manage to keep one of those preferably high earning men that you probably desire? That's a question that needs answers. If you think a bus driver is not good enough and he has to own his own bus to date you or to be worthy of dating, so the guys you want, right? And I'm assuming now, if you think a bus driver is not good enough, the guys you want, the guys who have the money, who have the lifestyle that you probably want, the guys who you think are on the same level as you or even better, how come they are not choosing you? This is no different from a man. If me as a man, right, I can't get the women I want, and then someone is like, oh, how about this young lady, and maybe she's not the most beautiful, but she's good enough, and then I'm like, no, she doesn't do for me, I can't take her. Like, I already am struggling to find a woman. At some point, guys, we as human beings, in my opinions, I know some of you guys are not going to agree with me, but at some point we need to look back, to sit down and think, and realize the fact that not everything we want in life we will get, especially some things are just out of our league. All right, so it's not different from imagine the bus driver. All right, what if you ask the bus driver if he can date an average looking woman, and he says no, and he says he wants to date Beyonce or Rihanna? That's not your league. Like, it's not different from exactly what this lady was saying. Like, at the end of the day, everyone can have their preferences, but the beautiful thing about life is life humbles each one of us. Life is gonna put you exactly where you belong. You know what I mean? So, and with dating and relationship, it's like, if you've been dating different people and you've dated for a couple years and you still don't have anyone, that should tell you something about yourself. Maybe you're trying to date out of your league. Now, she made a point, and she said that there's not enough black men who are, who can provide, who have the money and all these things. And she said they're not enough around to go by. And the question is, how about you make yourself the type of woman they want to choose? All right, because if they're not around, let's say they're not enough, right? Maybe, and you claim you've dated some of them. How about you make yourself the type of woman they would choose? All right, it's like I said, this is not different from a man who doesn't have the money, or who's not even doesn't have a job, or he's living with his mama, saying he wants this kind of woman. Yet women like to be provided for, protected, and cared for, but you don't have the things they want. But then you think you're too good to have a normal woman. Like, it's crazy. Maybe I'm crazy and maybe I'm wrong, but you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, I agree, everyone has their preferences, but at some point, if what you want and what you think you prefer, you have not got this whole time, it's time to sit back and think, do I really deserve this? Am I the problem? The people that you think you deserve, if she thinks she deserves this high earning rich man who have the lifestyles, but somehow they have not picked her, or somehow she doesn't have one yet, who could be the problem? All right, and that's all I'm saying. Like, who could be the issue if after all this time the men you think you want are not picking you, and the men you don't want are not the average men are not good enough for you? Who do you think you qualify for? Right? Because the ones you think you qualify for are not picking you. All right, but that's my 2 cents, guys. Comment down below what you think. Was she right? Is a bus driver not good enough for most women, or what? Let's talk about it.